Fokus. Aber dann war da ja dieser Ty Browning. Was macht der denn?
Welcome back to Slapshot Alley Podcast. I'm so happy to be here with the DL champion of 2024, Ty Ronning. How you doing?
Good, Andre. Thank you for having me.
Man, of course, the legendary Cliff Ronning, his father. First time we've done the podcast with the two gents. How are you doing, Cliff?
Excellent. Too bad it's a little cloudy here, but that's a typical day in Vancouver.
Yeah, tell us about this place. Where are we right now?
Oh, we're just at our new place. It's up in the sky here, so it's we enjoy it. Different way of life now that all the kids are out of the house, and now we're in an apartment and enjoying that side of it. And we were very fortunate. I got to go see Ty play in Berlin and win the championship and score a lot of beautiful goals. And then my other daughter is out in Brooklyn, so we've traveled to see her. And my other daughter now, of all things, is in Japan right now, and she'll be coming home on Friday. So, and my other daughter is in Scottsdale, so we have kids everywhere.
A lot of kids.
All the corners of the world.
Hey, life is good. We're very fortunate we get to go and see them, and that's been a lot of fun.
So let's get right into it. Ty,
Yeah.
I'm searching the internet, trying to find out how your team's doing. The Berlin Polar Bears, but I hear you guys are called something else?
The Eisbären.
The Eisbären. And so I'm searching the internet, trying to find out how you're doing this year. And I come across this goal where you're skating up the ice in overtime, and you do the toe drag, let the defender pass you. You protect the puck as you're passing him, and you scored the overtime winner to end the series.
Yeah, that goal was to go to the final. Yeah, that was
You took out the Tigers.
semifinals to go to the finals. Yeah.
Break that goal down.
Okay. A little bit of a blur because it was full of excitement and everything in between. Just kind of on a rush in overtime. Had a bit of a 2-on-1. And I was looking for a pass, kind of felt that I could keep it a little bit, and I knew the defender was going to go down. And as he laid down, I knew he was going to try and swipe at the puck with a long stick. And so what I did was I kind of put my skate in front, so he'd either hit my skate first, or he'd have to go around the skate and then try and poke the puck. And in the meantime, I pulled that back as far as I could and just tried to let a shot go, and pretty happy it went in. It was quite a feeling.
You sniped it right in that top corner, and most of your goals were in that top corner. You caught fire.
I guess so. I was just trying to do my job of shooting the puck, and I was pretty dialed in the moments, and was ready for a good battle ahead, and just did what I could do.
Now that goal, I've seen you do it before. It's maybe a little bit different, but Cliff, do you remember when we broke down the backheel drag shot?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of like your trademark goal. That was a goal that you scored. We made a highlight reel of that goal that you scored with the Giants.
Yeah, that's right.
With
Yeah.
8 seconds left to tie it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that goal?
Yeah, that was versus Kamloops. That was to tie it. Yeah, same kind of idea.
Same idea. The defender's coming to block the shot.
Yeah, coming to block the shot. That one, he didn't have his stick down, but I recall kind of having that pull, heel, drag, and then just kind of shoot. And yeah.
Do you remember ever learning? That's what I'm trying to teach kids. Do you remember learning that play? Like, where did it evolve from?
That's an easy answer. In the backyard, countless hours with this guy here. Just constant practice of pulling it and shooting it and having patience. It's that extra second. That's kind of where the nervousness of the goalie comes into play, because he's not sure what you're going to do with that half extra second. And that's just a lot of practice and work at it, I'd say, and hopefully more to come that way as well.
So you're asking where it came from? It came from me teaching him, but I got it from Brett Hall. Brett Hall was amazing at pulling the puck in, changing the angle on the goalie. And that's before the goalies do the flop position now. That's playing against goalies that are stand-up. So he would pull and then fire. It'd either be a toe drag or a back heel hold the guy off. And Ty, early on, he was not just a good hockey player, but a good lacrosse player, but he had a good shot. He always had a good shot. I mean, I think that's his biggest attribute to the game is his shot and his smarts. And I just felt like, you know what, I'm going to teach the kid that things that I couldn't do, and kind of took Brett Hall's lead on that and kind of taught him the things that Brett Hall was trying to teach me when I was working with him, playing with him and stuff, that I just couldn't do it with the wood stick. But Ty kind of understands that part of the game, and it's a big part of his game, and he has a deadly shot, that's for sure.
So the Berlin Eisbärens are back in the finals. They've won it 10 times, I think, or 9 times before this one.
Yeah, now it's 10.
Now it's 10. So you're in the finals, and I think you kind of built up some momentum, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I think the game is all momentum, especially in playoffs. When you can roll as a team with momentum, that's kind of where you get that advantage. You gain energy, you gain the kind of enthusiasm for winning games and coming up clutch, and we did as a team, and it was all around a lot of fun.
You got a nice hat trick game. So tell us a little bit about that game.
Okay. With the hat trick game, kind of going into it, one of our top players, Marcel Nobles, unfortunately kind of had a little bit of an injury, and he was out for the game or two. And for us, I kind of got called to step up to the plate to play, and going into it, it was going to be a big opportunity for me, and I just kind of took full advantage of it as much as I could, and worked with the PP1 for once, and that was quite the experience, and was just kind of given opportunities to shoot. Great passes from Leo Frudel and Kai Wasserman, and we just went with the game and rolled with it, and I just took my shots and they went in, and it was wave after wave.
So the first 2 goals on the power play, you're changing the angle, hitting the far post, and then the 3rd goal was one of my all-time favorite goals.
Okay.
You're coming down the right wing with speed, you do the fake slap shot.
Yeah.
And I've seen your dad do that. He's broken my ankles taking his slap shot with me. But then you laser it into the perfect post crossbar spot ever.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, have you seen this move? Like, I've seen Gretzky do it. Jason Spetz has done it a couple times. Even Connor Garland did a nice little fake slap shot between the legs against Skinner to come back this year with the Canucks in an amazing playoff game. Do you remember a similar goal that you saw when you were a kid, or somewhere in your career where you said, yeah, that's the move, this fake slap shot?
Yeah, I think it's about changing the angle. On a specific goal, just my dad cutting across the wing, taking a half clapper. He's done that quite a bit, and sometimes he'll pump fake with that and then push more and then shoot. So maybe getting a little bit of from him, and for myself with that goal, it was just ultimately I knew if I could just change the angle and just throw it on the net in an area, I'd kind of get lucky, and I did, and it worked out. So I was pretty happy with that one. Yeah, that was you should ask my dad.
I was fortunate. I was there.
What he was doing.
I was up watching the game. It was just an incredible game for Ty. He actually took over that game, and you could feel it even with all the parents up there, and we were all excited. Everyone just wanted to win. We didn't care who scored as parents. We were like, oh my God, let's just win this thing. Let's win the cup. And as parents, we're just excited for our kids. And 17,000 plus people screaming the whole game. And he scored some beauty goals, just like bombs hitting the net, especially the last one. I always reflect on, I taught him that. And I remember watching one of my favorites, Guy Lafleur. And he was the first one that I ever seen do that. Rick Middleton was another one, but Guy Lafleur down the wing, he would fake it, push it, and then go 5-hole. And he was, for all the fans out there that watch Guy Lafleur, he was spectacular. And it was a proud moment when he got that hat trick. And it was a natural hat trick, and they went on to win that game. So it was just really exciting as a parent, but even as a fan, it was fun to see.
he was definitely proud after that game. And then I remember him telling me, I would have scored 4. And I said, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, okay.
You got to always push the kids, right?
One of my favorite memories of you guys was when you guys played 2-on-2 at Magic Hockey in Langley, and you guys were going hard. Ty, do you remember those days and playing so viciously with your dad? Like, do you remember the things that you learned from those days?
Yeah, I mean, my father's the ultimate competitor in anything. Board games, hockey games, soccer games, you name it.
He lost in golf today, too, by the way.
I did lose in golf. But just in general, I think it just comes down to the compete level. We're out skating right now 3 times a week, and, we finish off with a little 2-on-2 scrimmage. My dad jumps out, and it's all-out battle, and, it's just all-out fun. And I think I learned a lot of the competitiveness, and it's just kind of in that blood, and I enjoy it.
Cliff, I watched you coach at a hockey camp at Burnaby Winter Club.
Yeah.
And I was interviewing the kids, and one of the things they said was that you're engaged, you're in the play with them, and they're just learning from watching you. Can you tell us about coaching and
I mean,
what your goals are and how you coached your son?
Yeah, I mean, with Ty, it was always harder to coach your own kid because you couldn't be too nice to him. You couldn't give him extras. So on that side, it was hard on him. There was times even he scored a hat trick in a game, and I had to give out a star to one of the players in some of these tournaments, and I'd give it to someone else just because I didn't want the conflict on that. But I always felt competitiveness is everything in an athlete. If you're competitive, you can make up for a lot of things, and it's in any sport, especially hockey. If you're competitive, I got to play with Rick Tockett, who coaches. He's a competitive guy. So same thing, a competitive person on your team, all of a sudden you get one other guy that becomes competitive. It becomes dragging everyone into the fight. And I just saw, and I was very happy, Jeremy Roenick got put into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Now, here's a guy. This guy played injured. He played with everything wrong with him, and he played hard every night. And he forced all of us to compete and play just as hard. And I think that's you, as a player, that's what you want. Because when the game's over, people are going to say, yeah, he was a good guy. And what you want them to say is, man, that guy, he competed hard for the team to win. And I think that's something I've tried to put in Ty. And there was one conversation I was really happy when Ty played for Ingolstadt, and which is another team the year before, and played in the playoffs, and they made it all the way to the finals. And he goes, Dad, now I know what you're talking about, what it takes to get to that next level. I mean, he was beat up, bruised. He paid the price. And then I just knew that getting on a team like Berlin, he was going to be a big part of it. And that competitiveness was there. And if you're competitive, it brings everyone in the fight in any sport. And I think that's something that Ty's always had. And hopefully he continues that.
Another one of my favorite memories of you guys was when we came out to Britannia for a drop-in game, and Ty must have scored about 10 goals, but he got 3 in a row. I remember there was bang, 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 and then on the next face-off, Cliff gave you a good punch across your head on the draw, and he said, well, he's got to learn if he's going to do that. He's got to expect something. Some retaliation.
I was a little bit...
or something to get you off your game.
My father never beat me. It was more of an elbow off the face-off. When he took the draw, he kind of just swung at it a little bit for fun. Let's just get that clear. But
no, I got you on purpose.
He got
that
me
one,
good, and I do remember
you get a hat
that.
trick, the guys are going to come after you.
Get too,
right?
Good lesson.
Too cocky. Yeah.
Yeah.
But has that ever happened to you? Like in your whole career, have you caught fire and then the other team come after you?
Yeah, I think that happens quite a bit to any player. If you become a little bit of a target. Game after game, you catch fire one game and goes into the third period. You kind of stick up. My dad always says you're going to the net, whistle blows, but you're stick up. What's going to happen? Who's coming? That's something that occurs, and especially to the next game. Okay, now how do you respond? There's guys are going to have you targeted. Coach may say something from the other team, and you just got to play through it, and that's hockey.
I want to talk a little bit about mentality now. Like, you seem to be a very strong individual, like with your mentality. I listened to your interviews. You're talking about the team. You're talking about, just simple things like hard work, but you have this mentality behind that shows confidence and strength.
Thank you.
I wanted to show you this book. Your dad mentioned this book one time. Did you ever read this book?
Absolutely.
You did?
Yeah, I've read that multiple times. Hockey Tough, and by Dr. Saul Miller, my sports psychologist. Work with him religiously, and doing the breathing. I do that every game, before every game, sometimes after pregame meal, just kind of getting into the zone. And mental toughness is everything, not just in hockey, but in life. 100%.
Cliff, do you remember reading this book?
I talk to him still. We're best friends. We're good friends. And for any kid out there, Dr. Saul Miller, unbelievable how he can teach you to become a stronger mind, even in business, but anything you do in life. I always go back to it. Things happen fast in life and you want to slow down. Sometimes you got to slow down and recharge. But the biggest thing with that book, Hockey Tough, when you play in a game in the finals, say the finals of a game or a very important game that you have to win, and you get real nervous or whatever, it calms you. It puts you in a situation that you want to be the guy. You want the puck. I love to score. These are the things that you say to yourself. It's amazing how you can actually trick your own self to start feeling that, hey, I love to score. I want to score. You don't say, I have to. The word have to, when you have to do something, that instantly gives you pressure and tightens up. And, I watch these golfers. There's nothing more, I think, mentally, you have to be more mental tough in golf than anything. Standing over a 4 or 5 foot putt for $1 million is going to be, I would think, you got to learn how to relax and do what you do and make the shot. But in hockey, it's the same thing. You're not going to have always a good shift. What do you do after you have a bad shift? That is your most important shift of the game, because it'll be a spiral going one way, or you keep it simple, you work hard, like I've always told Ty, and which he does, and that there pushes you as an athlete just to build on momentum, and good things will happen always.
Have you guys seen Boys on the Bus, an
No.
Edmonton Oilers documentary?
No,
I have not seen that.
I've seen a couple of different documentaries on YouTube that, Behind the B, the Boston Bruins and all that, but I haven't seen that one, no.
There's a dinner scene with Gretzky, Anderson, Messier, and they're talking about the challenge of hockey. And Gretzky says hockey was never a challenge for him. It was always fun for him. And he had this great quote where he's like, I've got this idea where I want the puck and you guys go get your own puck.
That's not a challenge. It's fun.
Well, good. Okay, great.
I love it. I don't do it because it's a challenge. I don't go out there and say, well, I'm tired, I got to do this or that. I go out there because I say, I want that puck.
Yeah.
And you guys get your own puck.
When he's out on the ice. And then everybody just laughed. And I thought that was such a great way to kind of, bring down the mentality to like more of a fun level. And that's what I really try to teach kids at Slapshot Alleys, because a lot of these kids feel a lot of pressure, but from their parents, from their coaches. And I feel like fun has kind of left the game. Like kids are telling me that they're going out in the streets and playing hockey. Seems like everything's organized. But, when I saw Gretzky say that quote, I was like, I gotta show kids that this is the way that guy played the game. He was playing to have fun.
Yeah.
Does that ever, occur to you when you're trying to?
I mean, just go back to our coach, Coach Sergio Bon here. He says every time after every speech in the locker room, it's all the same. It's let's go back, let's have fun, and winning is fun. That's something he always says and instills in us, and it's true. Winning is fun, and to have fun, you got to work, and that's exactly what we go out and do. So that was that's kind of hits right there.
And then. Cliff, you had great stories about just having fun, and were you kind of got into hockey was that day where you scored that big goal in the street hockey game.
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
that story.
you got to have fun. I think the game, first and foremost, if you're not having fun, why are you playing it? You know, even the other day in Game 7, we were watching the game, and I thought, what went through my head? And it was, at a professional level, that was the only time that I knew this was the last 3 periods I was going to play, and the season was over. You're hanging the skates up for the year. It was like a weird calming feeling, and knowing that this is it. And it was more have fun. In Game 7, I know everything's on the table, but you're out there and you're enjoying the moment. Like when you played road hockey, saying to yourself, oh man, I scored the overtime goal in road hockey, and Aposo, how do you say his name? Kyle Aposo. That's what he said. He says it reminded him, in his interview I saw, that it reminded him of playing road hockey when he was a kid, and they won the Stanley Cup. Like, it was like a dream come true for him.
You know, when I was his age, I was, dreaming of playing Game 7. I was in the driveway and on my rollerblades and scoring goals. I was in Game 7, and how cool that he gets to go to one and watch me play in it. So something that I'll never forget, and hope my kids and family won't either.
I was very happy for him, and I think overall, hockey players are all the same, right? Everyone loves the game. Got to have fun, kids. I mean, hockey, that's what it's all about. And just keep working hard and listening to your coach and staying focused. And I think that's the biggest thing. Have fun.
Back to the championship finals in Germany. The first goal of that last game was a slap shot by the MVP, Leo.
Yeah.
What's how you say his last name?
Frutal.
So he's a German.
Yeah. You
Nice.
probably laugh at the way I say it, but that's how I pronounce it. Yeah.
Okay, at Slapshot Alley, sometimes the kids, they tell me, well, I don't use my slap shot. I don't have time to use it, so it's not necessary to learn it. So even some couple bigger kids in junior, they're just saying, nah, I don't really want to work on my slap shot. Don't really ever use it. What do you think about the slap shot? I noticed that you're more of a snapshot type of guy.
Yeah, I think it's a tool. It's a weapon. I think the game of hockey for scoring is all angles. If you have the right angle, you're in a position and you can hit your target. Ultimately, it's either a wrist shot, snapshot, for level 1 snapshot. There's all different types of shooting. But I think down the wing, nothing really beats a nice slap shot for myself, going down the right side, low blocker or high glove. And as you can see in that shot that he took, he just wound up, hit his target, and that was a beautiful shot and went in.
Do you remember learning slap shot when you were a kid? I wasn't allowed to take slap shots for a long time.
Really?
Did you ever have, like a story behind learning the slap shot?
Yeah, my dad always talked about Guy Lafleur. Guy Lafleur slap shot down the wing. So that was always stuck in my head playing pee-wee hockey. There was the old sticks back in the day where it'd be super whippy, and coming down the wing, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm just gonna hit it on net and try and wind up and take one. And I remember scoring my first slap shot down the wing, and that was a really cool moment out in Coquitlam in a tournament, and definitely sticks with me because it's one of those shots that can be difficult to hit, but when you hit it right, it's a great feeling.
Let's talk about that last game.
Yeah.
So big game. Can you give us an idea of your game day routine?
Yeah. So that game day routine, it changes a little bit when you're on the road. You have your meals possibly a little bit later, and your nap could be shortened. But overall, it's waking up. We went for a little pregame skate, and go for a little walk, have our food, and then kind of cruise around a bit with the boys, and then go to bed, take a little nap for about an hour. I'm about an hour guy for a nap, hour 20, and then shower, get changed, head down, maybe have a little snack before getting on the bus, and then a cup of coffee, listen to my music. I do my meditation, tape my stick, then I do my warm-up, get ready, jump on the ice, and have fun.
In your warm up, are you guys playing like soccer or anything like
Yeah,
that?
there's a
Hacky
mix.
sack?
Yeah, there's a mix. I joined a little bit in the football, the two touch that we play. It's a lot of fun. Even some guys have baseball mitts. They're throwing the baseball around. Some guys have a football, throwing it around, just having a little bit of fun, getting active. And then you'll see right about 15 to 20 minutes before it's time to get ready. There's guys switching into a mode where they're completely dialed in of their routines of using bands and quick feet, ladder work, and then they're getting changed, and it's showtime for warm up on the ice.
And then you guys win the cup.
Yeah.
It was a hard-fought 2-0 game.
Yep.
The Slapshot goal, another grinder goal.
Yep.
Anything else about that game that you remember?
Yeah, I mean, just our goalie in general, Jake Hildebrand. All playoff long, just doing incredible work, doing his job, and I think he was just a big piece of our puzzle, dialed in and was ready to battle to the very end. And just defensively, how we were, it was defensively strong. We made quick passes, quick plays, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
Cliff, what about you? What do you remember about that game?
Well, I had to drive to the game because it was away. It was a smaller rink, didn't have the 17,000 people. There was probably about maybe 6,000 people. Everyone, I would say there was maybe 500 of us Eisbären fans, and the rest were the other team. And just the way the fans were singing and chanting the game, and they really respect the game. Like when a nice goal was scored, they kind of they don't boo it. They kind of cheer, and then they realize, oh, that's the wrong team. But it was kind of like they admire talent and good plays and playing clean hockey and playing by the rules. That's one thing I noticed. And that's the same thing when they come into the Eisbärens rink, same thing. They love sport in Germany, and they respect talent, and that was really loud. The fans singing the whole game. There was sparklers going, and I kind of knew, I really felt our team was going to win because they were playing so well defensively, and the goalie was bang on, making saves. And it seemed like their star players were kind of running out of gas by the playing so good defensively, and it was a great job by Ty's coach to adapt during the playoffs, and it was a tough run. They played a Mannheim team that was very tough and very difficult to play against. It was and then the next group was tough. So they had a tough ride. So they were ready for the finals, and right away you could see, I think they were going to win. Just you could see the team has come together, and good coaching staff, and overall a great experience for a parent. And I look forward to going over there again and possibly seeing a back-to-back. We'll see.
And then you guys win. What's that cup called?
The Deutsche Meister.
The Deutsche Meister.
Yeah.
And did you guys have a parade?
Yeah, we had a parade. We flew in that next day in the morning, and already fans at the rink cheering us on. I would say about 5,000, and then our parade was in early May there. Wow. Just kind of brings me a little bit of chills just thinking about it, because we had about 17 to 20,000 fans outside cheering us on as we ride the roofless bus in, and we had some beers going, and the championship trophy out, and everyone, it was a nice sunny day, and it was just good vibes all around. It was a great time.
It's like you said, the fans are cheering. It's not so much music pounding from the speakers. It's more a different environment.
Absolutely.
And do the fans have some good songs that they sing?
Yeah. There's quite a few.
You know any of them?
Well, there's the classic Eisbären song.
We're the Eisbären. How does it go?
We're the Eisbären, eh? Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, and so that kind of goes on every game before the start of the game. Gets the crowd pumped, and it's all around just the ultimate entertainment. I was unfortunately injured at one point and sitting in the stands, and just being in complete awe of, how grateful and lucky I really am to be playing in an organization and with a fan base like this. And, it's all around the league, and even in Ingolstadt, it's the same thing. The fans are so passionate in the DEL, and it's just really fun to be a part of, and just truly blessed all around.
Let's go back to the beginning of your career.
Okay.
So when did you realize that, you wanted to be a hockey player?
I think when I got drafted into the WHL, I think it kind of gave me a little bit of a boost of confidence within myself, and knowing that, hey, I know I'm a smaller guy, but I think I can do something with this sport. My father's done it. He kind of went against the odds of being a smaller guy and played in the NHL. And for me, I think it was around that 15-year-old age, I would say, just trying to kind of switch the mindset. I've always wanted to be a hockey player, like my father, but I think that gave me a little bit of a boost knowing that, hey, maybe I can make a career out of this.
Your dad mentioned that you're a multi-sport player and how important that is for success in hockey.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about the other sports that you played and how they might have helped you with your hockey game?
Yeah, I grew up playing lacrosse, soccer, just a couple games of football in high school. But yeah, with those sports of soccer and lacrosse, you really learn to kind of headman the ball, get into the dirty areas, play with pace, play with speed. And I think with lacrosse, that was a big one of rolling off a hit, getting open, and getting a shot off quick. And I think that really helped me with the game growing up. As well as soccer, just kind of trying to be smart with the play, don't lose possession and things like that.
When I was a kid, I studied Wayne Gretzky. I always watched, the slow motion plays. They broke it down during the intermissions. Do you remember ever studying the game?
Yeah, I think watching old clips of my dad kind of hits hard. Just going on YouTube, watching old highlights, and we got some, I guess you could say record tapes of 94 series and different games. That's when I realized, wow, my dad's a pretty good hockey player. Him buzzing around as a little guy and just not taking shit from anyone, having that competitiveness. I'd also say Ovechkin, growing up Ovechkin, the way he shot the puck, Sidney Crosby, of course, as well. But for me, I think Ovechkin really stuck with me of how he shoots the puck and demanded a lot of wanting a one-timer and coming down the wing and, making moves and playing with speed. That was kind of, I guess you could say, my guy, and still is.
When I was learning how to shoot as a kid, I had multiple coaches teaching me different things and sometimes conflicting with each other. And then finally I met your dad, and he taught me some new things that I had never been taught before, like pulling the puck in, getting into a higher lie so that you're shooting in the puck closer to your body, so you're able to get a little bit more leverage. Do you remember learning how to shoot the puck and different techniques?
Yeah, I think when my father had base there, that shooting gallery, that was kind of a little heaven of mine, a little church where I could just go there and, after hours or, sometimes even during hours and just shoot pucks nonstop. I think, teaching a little bit of shooting as well, understanding a technique to teach fellow kids. I think it was kind of something that helped me as well. You have level 1, Slapshot, level 2, and then, just ripping the puck constantly. I think shooting pucks help in general.
Were there any specific things that you kind of focused on? Like your dad would always tell me toe down, or top hand snapping back.
Yeah,
and
pulling,
pushing and pulling.
Yeah, pushing, pulling. Toe down on slap shots is a big one. You'll find a lot of players, younger players as well. They'll be kind of slicing the puck. The blade comes down, and once they make contact, it just kind of opens up. But if you torque the stick properly, going toe down, it kind of eliminates that heel lift where it's pushing through the puck, and that's a big thing that helps a lot of kids. That's something he's always taught me, and I think it's shooting a ton of pucks are great, but having the quality of shots, I think is even better with a proper technique.
Cliff, I think you lived through the time where shooting changed a lot. Can you talk a little bit about how the technique has changed?
Well, I mean, when I first played, I used wood sticks, and a wood stick would flex in the middle. If you got one, a 50-30 actually would feel like an 85 flex senior, and you're pretty young, but you could flex it a bit. But most of the sticks were so stiff you couldn't flex it unless you were a 30-year-old man, right? And as a young kid, you used a wood stick. You could see this stick here. That thing there wouldn't even flex if we tried, but you had to learn. You had to learn. Back then, we used to learn to take a wrist shot from the heel of the stick and then roll it all the way to the end. It would come off, right? And now the way the sticks are made in graphite, the stick bends down here. So now you load the toe up, and then you turn your wrist and fire, and then that's how it loads the stick and shoots. Just like in golf, everything's gotten better. Technique has changed. Technique has changed because the stick has changed. And I learned how to shoot when I was 6 years old by Alex Shabicki, who played and won a Stanley Cup for the New York Rangers. I was that fortunate to have him as one of my first coaches. And he's one of the first ever ones to take a slap shot. So we learned a lot about shooting, and after you shoot, you end up where the rebound is. And that I was taught that before, or I was taught that when other people weren't taught that. All the people at Burning Winter Club through Alex Shabicki, they all know point your toe, finish where you shot, the rebound's 50% going to be there. And that was the way it was back with woods and straight curves. But it's evolved, because I remember when I played, it went all of a sudden graphite shafts with a wood Christian blade. Everyone used them. And then you get a little bit of a feel like wood, and you could shoot a little bit harder because you could bend it now. Then it went in full graphite, and all of a sudden now anyone can shoot a puck hard. Like, it makes a big difference. Much like in golf, the giant head on the driver, everyone can hit it off the tee pretty good now. But it'd be like going back in the day of Arnold Palmer and using a little tiny wood driver, and you'll see how good you can hit the ball. And in hockey, going back to a wood stick, it's a lot harder to load it up and put energy into it. But the game's evolved into a beautiful game, and I love watching it. Stanley Cup Finals was spectacular. As a ex-hockey player, but a fan of the game, I love where the game's going, and I really enjoy watching the hockey played in Europe. They have a little bit more room, so there's a little bit more finesse plays, and that's what I've enjoyed doing lately.
Well, that's what you did. You went, when you were playing with the Blues, you went to Italy. Can you talk a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah. Well, I like the game so much. You know, back when I played, they didn't want small players in the NHL, and there's maybe 2 or 3 of us. And, you know, I was pretty good, I guess, offensively, so I was used only on the power play. So there was times in the game that I would get out maybe 5 times in the game. But I was fortunate enough to be on a power play with great players. I'm playing with Adam Oates, Brad Hall. I'm playing with Doug Gilmore, Bernie Federko, Rob Ramage. I'm playing with some of the best all-time players, especially on a power play, and I'm on the sideboards. So I'm very fortunate. But I just wanted to play again. And so I decided to go over to Europe and get playing, and, you know, playing for a great coach, Ron Chipperfield, a super nice man and knowledgeable man in the game. And he helped me enjoy the game again, really. That's really what it came down to, is because now I'm enjoying the game. I'm playing a lot more, feeling a part of it, and just played the 1 year and then got called back to play in the NHL and play with St. Louis, and then got traded to Vancouver. And from there, Pat Quinn was someone that gave a little guy a chance. And I was fortunate enough that I took that chance and ran with it. And the rest was kind of history, that I went on to have a decent career.
Do you think that time in Italy helped you have fun? You're scoring 3 points a game there. So is it building your confidence so that you're
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the thing is playing time will give you confidence because you're able to make a mistake and figure it out and go harder. But also, like you said, love the game again. Love playing the game for the competing against someone else or trying to score a goal or make a nice play or make a nice play defensively. That whole thing of that feeling again came back, and that was exciting.
So, listen, hearing that, do you kind of feel a similar following your dad in his footsteps kind of thing, where you were playing in the AHL, but what made you choose to go out to Germany?
Yeah, you know, my road has been definitely not easy, and you know, I've enjoyed it. There was times of you know, bearing down and having that mental toughness to keep going and that desire to fight and win and, you know, take spots and do what you can to survive in that league. And ultimately, there was an opportunity arise where I could go over to Ingolstadt and, you know, I took it. I had the opportunity to do that, and we went all the way to the finals. And, you know, that love, that love really, I would say the enthusiasm for that game. The love's always been there. It's the enthusiasm. You know, getting more opportunity, more ice time, you know, more chances. You know, you're put in positions that you haven't played in a while, and, you know, you're having fun with it. And then that kind of created the opportunity to go with the Eisbären for a couple of years, and that's been so far a lot of fun. You know, coming off a championship now, and, you know, now it's going to be even more tough where, you know, you have to defend it, and that comes with responsibility. Guys coming into your barn, you know, wanting to beat you up. So it's just an exciting challenge ahead, and definitely I think the enthusiasm is there, the will, the fight, and that desire to win as much as you can, to hold as many trophies as you can over your head, and you know, play with passion.
You started playing your hockey in BWC.
Yep.
Do you have any good memories of like when you were a little kid of hockey? And
Yeah.
what comes to mind first?
I think getting cut, actually, a couple times there at Burnaby Winter Club. You know, playing on the B teams, growing up, you know, trying out, doing really well in tryouts, and then getting cut. You know, probably crying for a little bit, and then figured it out. Hey, here's an opportunity to get more ice time, have fun, and like I said before, that enthusiasm for the game. I also think about winning the Western Bantam Championship, and that was quite an experience. It's almost like I guess you would say the nationals for Canada. You know, things like that. A lot of wins, a lot of fun, and then you can even add in spring hockey, which is just a blast. I had my dad as a coach up until I was about, I would say, 12, and just a lot of fun there as well. Hockey's always been fun for me. You know, when you get down to the business side, it changes a little bit when you have to understand that there's a business to the game. And then, you know, just it's a lot of fun. It's a passion of mine.
In that spring hockey, I think I remember a story about you playing against Matt Barzell.
Yep.
Do you remember those games?
100%. And I grew up playing with Matty at Burnaby Winter Club, you know, in Pee Wee Bantam, and yeah, I mean, what can you say? What a player! He's one player that can play the game of hockey, skate with the puck, and make incredible plays in any league. You can see it doing in the NHL, and he was doing the same thing in Pee Wee. So, pretty cool to see. Yeah, especially spring hockey. You know, a lot of great players. You know, even on our team as well, the Vancouver Selects. It was always that compete against the Vipers, and it all around really fun times and memories that will last forever.
I think the city of Vancouver would be very excited to have you play for the Canucks. You know, especially since your dad's hometown, you know, his success with the Canucks, your career with the Giants. Have you, or has your agent ever, you know, talked to the Canucks? Is that in a possible future for anything?
I never say never, but I think they've had their opportunities, and they've decided not to. And, you know, by all means, that's so be it. I'm still a Vancouver fan. Always have been. Just growing up in this city, you can definitely see in the playoffs of how the city gets behind them, and that's me right there. It's a lot of fun. That heart and soul of the city gets involved, and they've had their opportunities. Especially as a free agent, there was possible talk to Abbotsford, and even the draft. Passed me up in the draft, and that really kind of lit a fire under my belly to kind of get going in Hartford, and it was a little bit of a roller coaster. Kind of found my groove a bit, and ultimately, I'm happy where I'm at in Europe. I'm making a living, living my dream, and I can't complain at all. I'm very grateful for where I am, for sure.
So you're an Eisbären now.
I'm an Eisbären, yeah, Eisbären,
They
100%.
love 'em there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this year's playoffs. Did you get a chance to watch any of the Canucks? I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah, 100%. I got back early May here, so watching a bit of the run, and that was some good hockey. I definitely think, I bite my tongue a little bit on some things, but definitely some fun games to watch. I think little Garland played awesome. JT Miller, one of the best players on the team, a driving force for the team. Brock Besser scoring a ton of goals. I think that was really fun to watch. Some really good players playing with their heart on their sleeve, and I think that's what the playoff hockey is all about.
Did you guys go to any games?
No.
You're in Berlin, right? When that was happening.
Well, for the most part,
Little bit, yeah.
but we were in with my daughter in Arizona there for a little bit, and then got back, and the games were still happening. But I enjoy watching them on TV. You can analyze it a bit more, but the excitement of the fans is back. I'm a good friend of Rick Tocchet. I played with him for 2 years. Like I said when he first got here, he's going to change the culture, and he's going to make the guys want to play hard and play to win, and you can see that just from they got a very good coaching staff, and I think that's going to help their young team develop into eventually getting into another round. But as you can see, Connor McDavid fell a little bit short, but from what I saw with him is he's now gained and understands the little bit of a fight in him is a big fight in him now, and that was fun to watch him, I think, develop into soon to be champion one day. You can see it's going to come, but we watched the finals and we enjoyed it. It was good hockey.
Yeah, so that was just Monday. You guys watched a soccer game in the morning, right? What game was that?
Yeah, we had the Italy-Croatia game. So I'm half Italian. My mother's Italian, and growing up with nonna and nonno and all that, home-cooked pasta meals. So I'm Italian at heart, Italian-Norwegian, and watching those Euro Cup games right now, a lot of fun. Copa America as well with Team Canada.
They got their first goal yesterday.
Yeah, big game versus Peru. So, I love all sport at any high level of competitiveness. I'd even watch curling and the championships kind of thing. So I'm all for compete.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll wrap things up.
Yeah.
And
I can't vote for Italy or Croatia because my granddaughter's half Croatian, and then my wife's Italian, so I stay out of it.
well, it's over now, right? Italy's moving on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. But thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank
this
you.
This was a lot of fun, and I'd love to do it again. This is a great opportunity for me to learn, but more so for us to, reach a lot of people and give them your insights on, how to be involved, how to be in part of the hockey culture, and how to, make it help yourself and other people. And, I know with you, Ty, you're more than beyond yourself. You've won that humanitarian award, and you really know what the game of hockey is about. I just want to thank you for being such a great role model.
Oh, thanks, Andre.
True, man.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And also you, Cliff. You've done so much for myself, and I've learned so much from you, and I appreciate all the time that you spent with me, trying to make Slapshot Alley what it is today, and what we can do in the future. We're thinking about making products and making a nice little line to help kids, you know, train at home. And I see that, you know, becoming the new future for Slapshot Alley.
Perfect.
I want you to be there with me to help make that happen.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Andre.